Hey guys, I'm Josh Fritz, and I am the husband of Miss Sandy Fritz. So I'm kind of popular by association, I guess you could say. But hey, I wanted to come today and put together a little video to talk about some of the numbers behind this company, Rodan&Fields. I definitely like numbers. I'm a numbers guy. And even more so, I like when I can compare those numbers to something I can really relate to, like something I actually know about. And so that's my goal today, to be able to present the numbers behind Rodan&Fields and the skincare industry in general, what it looks like, what the numbers behind R&F look like, and then hopefully compare that to some things you might be familiar with. I know when my wife first started, I was like, skincare business? You know, she started talking about selling skincare and we could really generate some income here. And I'm like, man, who buys skincare? Is that even a thing? Like, what is it? What does it do? I didn't really realize. Was it a big deal? It's a really big deal. And so maybe you have somebody who's talking to you about joining the company, and you're like, man, really? I don't know. Skincare business? Maybe you have a spouse who's already a consultant, and you're just like, oh my word, what did she get herself into, or what did he get himself into now? Or maybe you're just looking for some more information, something to push you over the edge. Guys, let me tell you, there is no better opportunity. There is no bigger business investment opportunity than what is sitting here in front of you in Rodan&Fields. I believe that if you can understand the magnitude of what this company is and what they have the ability to do, it's going to be pretty tough to say no and not jump on board. Okay, some numbers. The NFL, one of my personal faves. Got my Seattle hat on today. Yes, I'm a Seahawks fan. Go PA. 12s, shout out for the 12s in Pennsylvania. In Russ we trust. The NFL generates how much money? It's a big number. $13 to $14 billion of revenue over the last year or two. Maybe you're a Major League Baseball fan. How much money does Major League Baseball generate? Somewhere between 9 and 10 billion dollars over the last year or two. And then it actually drops off more than I would have expected. Number 3 largest league here in the country is, you probably guessed it, the NBA. Maybe you're a LeBron James fan. Accounts for about $5 to $6 billion. So NFL 13 to 14 bill, MLB 9 to 10, and then NBA comes in at third at 5 to 6 billion. Those are some pretty big numbers. When I heard that, I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. If you add all of those up together, you have, let's say, 14 from the NFL, you've got 10 more from MLB, and then the NBA brings in 6. You're at roughly $30 billion. The cosmetic industry in the U.S. alone is a $62 billion industry. I would have never guessed that. That is huge. Are you kidding? More than double of the combined revenue of the top 3 sports leagues, professional sports leagues in this country. No way would I have guessed that it was more than double that revenue. Now, cosmetics includes quite a few subcategories. You've got like shampoos, conditioners, you've got perfumes, skincare is in there. It's where we start talking Rodan&Fields. And so there's all these subcategories, but they all branch into this overarching umbrella of cosmetic industry. It's huge. I had no idea, but I guess it kind of makes sense. Everybody has skin, right? It's a lot of stuff going on faces and on your body and on your hair and so forth. So it's a big industry. How big is just the skincare piece of that, though? This also blew my mind. This is like saying, okay, the NFL generates 13 to 14 billion. How much did just Russell Wilson t-shirts generate? Probably a lot of money. But skincare itself in North America is a $17 billion market. $17 billion market. That's bigger than the entire NFL. Think of that. Just skincare alone is a bigger market than the entire NFL. So it's huge, okay? The skincare market in the United States is giant. And once you start going on a global scale, the numbers get astronomical. We're talking a $121 billion market worldwide on just skincare. Those are some big, big numbers. What about the future outlook? Potential growth. $1.3 billion is expected to be generated in just skincare over the next several years to 2019. So in a 5-year span, they looked at 2014 up through 2019, and the total growth just in the skincare business is expected to add another $1.3 billion in sales. That's some hefty growth. On a global scale, it's going to continue to grow by about 3.5% to 4.5% over the next several years. I mean, that's just huge, huge numbers. So not only do you have a giant industry now, you also have an industry that is showing signs of continuing to grow at a pretty big rate here. I read a statistic that was pretty funny. Like, why, right? Why is skincare all of a sudden so important? Why are like people so obsessed with taking care of their skin? Well, randomly, selfies. Think of this. Social media. People are looking at themselves in pictures more than ever before. And it's just, I mean, you're seeing yourself all blasted all over social media. And now all of a sudden you're saying, oh my word, that's what my face looks like? Are you kidding me? And so it's selfies and social media is actually a contributor to why people are starting to pay attention to their skin and try and take better care and use skincare products. So you've got this huge industry already in the country, bigger than the NFL. You've got projections of continual growth by big $1.3 billion in 5 years, adding total sales increase. I mean, that's crazy. So it brings us to the last question. Okay, well, why Rodan&Fields? Where does Rodan&Fields as a skincare company fit amongst all of those statistics? This is where it gets super amazing. Rodan&Fields is now the #1 skincare company in North America. That's the United States and Canada. The #1. You've got a $17 billion industry in North America. And who's the #1 company? We are. Rodan&Fields. I guess once I started learning about how successful the doctors Katie and Kathy were, it was not really a surprise. I mean, these two have a complete history of success, not just success, but like global domination. Have you heard of Proactive? You probably have. In fact, you're living under a rock if you haven't. I mean, you don't remember Britney Spears advertise? I didn't use Proactive at all. I didn't have troubles with acne in high school, but I certainly knew that Britney Spears was advocating for it. I mean, it's Britney Spears, right? Come on. But yeah, so Proactive was actually a global, like, monopoly. I mean, they owned the acne market on a global scale, multi-billion-dollar company, and was created by the same two doctors that are now focusing their attention on the skincare company, Rodan&Fields. They're #1. They know what it's like to be at the top. They know how to get to the top, and they have the skills to be the #1 company. And so it's no surprise when we bumped into the #1 spot this year. We were #4 2 years ago when my wife and I first started the company. Then we bumped into the #2 spot. Now we're at the #1 spot. So it's like, yeah, these ladies are competitors and they don't like second best. #2 isn't an option. They're the #1 brand in the US. And the way they're doing that is that Rodan&Fields is growing at an incredible rate. Okay, in the last 6 years, there hasn't been one company in the skincare industry that is growing as quickly as Rodan&Fields is. It's the #1 fastest growing skincare company in the entire market. This is proven by the statistics. Guys, the next like 3 to 4 biggest players in the skincare business, people like Olay, people like Lancome, Estee Lauder, Clinique, some of the other big players, they're growing between 2010 and 2015. Their revenue grew anywhere from between 2 and 5%. Rodan&Fields growth between 2010 and 15, 91%. Guys, we're not just the #1 company in skincare. We're growing at a rate that absolutely obliterates the next closest competition. 2 to 5%, the other companies. We're growing at 91%. Sheer domination. Guys, this company is on the verge of becoming a household name. This company is on the verge of becoming a global success. We're expanding outside the borders of the United States and Canada. Maybe you've heard through talking to some people that we have plans on broadening our horizons. We're going to Australia next month. After that, the company's talking about expanding into a different country every year beyond that. They're going after part of that $121 billion global skincare market. And it's like, wow, that's kind of uncharted waters, isn't it? No, it's not. They did the same thing with Proactive. They absolutely know what they're doing, and they know how to do it. I mean, if you're not catching this, if you're not getting the magnitude of what these doctors are offering us, it's like, man, look out. And they're saying, jump on board with us. They're offering us an opportunity to be part of that success. Man, I hope some of this has clicked with you. I hope some of it has made sense. And more than that, I just hope that you understand that this is way more, way more than an opportunity for your wife to get together with her friends, drink wine, and put stuff on her face. This, honestly, is an incredible business opportunity. This company is growing at an incredible rate, and it's growing at an incredible rate in a market that is growing at an incredible rate and continuing to expand. You've got the best company growing the fastest in a market that is huge, bigger than the NFL, and also continuing to grow at crazy speeds. It's a now time, guys. It's a now time to get involved in this company. I hope this video has answered some questions. Hopefully I've been able to shed some light on exactly what the skincare industry and Rodan&Fields specifically looks like, and give you some numbers that kind of make it tangible for you. And hey, who knows, maybe here in the future we'll be talking.